Hey guys, sorry I just got out of the shower, that's why my hair is wet, but I wanted to show you my dinner. Today I made some ribs in a slow cooker, and on the side I added some roasted Brussels sprouts. I topped that with some pomegranates. The Brussels sprouts are nice and spicy. You get the sweetness from the pomegranate. I also squeezed some lemon juice on top, and the ribs are so delicious. They're literally falling off the bone. Super easy and simple, but it does take quite a while because it is a slow cooker, so it has to cook for about minimum 6 hours. Here are the ingredients. I have my ribs here. Then you need half of a large onion, some garlic, I would say minimum of 5 cloves, but I like to add a lot. I have lemons because we're going to be using lemon juice, some honey, some molasses, tomato paste, salt and pepper for seasoning, oil for frying because we're going to fry the ribs first before adding them to the slow cooker, and some water. So the first thing you want to do is take your ribs and rinse them under cold water. I do this in my sink. Make sure your sink is clean, obviously. Then you turn them around onto this side of the ribs, and there is like a little membrane that you have to pull off, because if you don't pull this off, then when you cook it, it's going to be kind of tough and it's not pleasant to eat. So all you have to do is just get a nice little piece on the edge and start peeling it off, just like you would a sticker, I guess. Pretty easy, but that's my little tip for ribs. So now that I took the membrane off, I like to cut up the ribs. I just take scissors and I cut in between each rib. You can double up, so you can cut it so it's 2 ribs in one piece, or you can just do 1 rib, depending on how you prefer eating it, and it's just all up to you, like this. So I cut up the ribs, I rinsed them one more time under cold water. I put them on a paper towel, and I'm just going to make sure that they are all dry. Once I know that they are dry and there's no more water, I'm going to sprinkle some salt on both sides and then put it aside while I take care of the other ingredients, such as cutting up the onion and getting the lemon. I'm going to heat up some oil in the pan. Now we're going to fry up the ribs, just about 2 minutes on each side before we add it to the slow cooker. Now that the ribs are all seared nicely, I'm going to remove them, set them aside, and to this pan with the same oil, I'm going to add the onion. I'm going to saute this until the onion is translucent, and then I'm going to add the garlic. Now that the onions are nicely browned, I am going to add the garlic, and then saute this for about 30 seconds or until the garlic is fragrant. Be careful because we don't want it to. After the garlic cooked for about 30 seconds, I added the tomato paste, the molasses, the honey, and the lemon juice. Then I seasoned it with some salt and some pepper. I'm letting it cook for a little bit. Now that it's nicely bubbling, as you saw previously, I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of water. Now that I added the water, I'm going to mix this up, bring down the heat to a medium-low, and cook this for 15 minutes. Okay, so you can see after 15 minutes, this has definitely thickened, and I have my slow cooker bowl here. I sprayed it with some non-stick spray. So what I'm going to do is just put layers. So I'm going to put a little layer of this mixture on the bottom, spread it out, and then put the ribs on top, and do that over and over until everything is gone and in this slow cooker. So I have the sauce and the ribs nicely stacked in the slow cooker. I'm going to cover it and cook it for 6 hours on high or 8 hours on low. Aside to the ribs, I'm going to make some roasted Brussels sprouts. So I have my Brussels sprouts here. I just have to wash them, cut them in half, and get rid of the ends. I'm going to top it with some lemon juice and some pomegranate seeds. For seasoning, I have garlic and onion powder, cayenne and paprika, salt and pepper, and olive oil is just to mix everything together. So I cut up and cleaned up the Brussels sprouts. I put them in the pan with some parchment paper. I put all of the seasonings on top. I'm going to just drizzle some olive oil on top and then also mix it up. I'm just going to go in with my hand. So then I'm going to put it in the oven. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees. After 15 minutes, just toss these around and then put them back in the oven. So I took the Brussels sprouts out of the oven. I have my lemon in a squeezer and I'm going to squeeze the lemon juice on top. I'm going to start off with half of a lemon, taste it, and then see if I should add the other half as well. And I'm also going to do a handful of pomegranate seeds and just sprinkle that. The pomegranate seeds is depending on how much you want. It's up to you. I took the ribs out of the slow cooker and just put it into a Tupperware. As you can see, the meat is literally falling off the bone. Like, this is just the bone. It's gonna be so good.